What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to be talking about how to get better at Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's not like your simple things like build a deck better or things like that. It's tips on how to get better at Yu-Gi-Oh! And first tip is play your deck. Yes, people don't really think to do it, but yeah, play your deck more. Test it out, not only on Dev Pro and like not only with friends, but just play it out, like draw and play like you would a game. And just see how the flow of the deck is consistent. You won't get like your win patterns, but even doing that, you'll get a feel for how your deck plays out and things like that. Now, also playing on Dev Pro or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Duel Network a lot will teach you how to play a deck, because you don't have to worry about playing with friends and annoying them or something like that. You don't have to go to a locals. You can just sit on your board at a coffee shop or in between classes and just play a deck over and over and see how the deck plays, and you're like, oh, that's how I did that wrong, and whatever like that. And you'll get the feel for how the game plays. Other tips. Since it is a card game and facial expressions give away things, this is what I've learned back from playing poker and all the time and playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Back when I was a kid to now, is look at your opponent's facial expressions. Now, most people when they play Yu-Gi-Oh! They usually have a flat face. Like from what I've seen online and stuff like that, but try to like get a feel for your opponent. Like if he looks at his eyes when he draws a card, does he give something away that's good, that or something like that that's just stupid, like instead of just being quiet. Like if you draw something good, you're supposed to keep it to yourself. You don't go, oh, I top decked, or I'm about to kick his ass or something like that. When you play, you should be quiet. You shouldn't let your opponent know what you got going on. Even if you are at a disadvantage, you shouldn't let him know that so he can tell. Unless if you're like at so much of a disadvantage where you're like, alright, I'm going to give you a game. If you're at a disadvantage or even a far advantage, don't let your opponent know, because they might play something that messes you up. Do something like summon a monster when they shouldn't, like things like that. There's tons of scenarios where that would happen, but don't give away what you have. Even if you have the best hand in the world or the worst hand in the world, don't tell your opponent. Unless if it's just a fun game or something, if you're at a regionals or something like that, don't tell your opponent. Now, if you're playing with friends and you're just like, oh, I got a good hand, you're about to get your ass kicked, that's something else. Like, it's whatever, you're just playing with some friends. But if you're at like a tournament or something, do not let your opponent know. Like, even to try to be funny or try to be gloaty, like, oh, you're about to lose. Because don't do that. He might still beat you, and he might have something prepared. He's like, oh, well, I was just going to set one card my next turn pass or something. Now I'm going to set, like... watch what you say around your opponent. Watch his eyes, okay? When he plays, watch what he puts down first. Usually if people set 2 cards, and it's not all the time, but sometimes, even on Dev Pro, I do this, so it doesn't have something to do with someone's eyes, but the eyes help. Is if somebody sets 2 cards, okay, face down, spell and trap, target the one they set down first. Not always, but it's usually that was the card they were thinking, alright, this is the good card I want to put down, but I'm going to put a second one too. Some cases they're both good, but sometimes I've also noticed when people do like MST chains, like they're going to set a trap and set an MST, they usually set their trap first and then their MST. Like I said, that's not all the time, but it's something to base it off when you're doing it. So I won't take my word for it, you can go by chance and random if you want. Just saying, it's in my experiences, sometimes I've noticed that players are like, okay, this is my trap, I'm going to set this, and now I'm going to set my MST. And then pop their back row that was their trap, and then, yeah. It works out surprisingly well. It's just like a matter of just thinking about like what the player would think about more. How I think about like, oh, if I had a trap, I'd probably set that first. So that's how I get the feeling that that's what I should do. But anyways, more tips. Don't go out and spend all your money on a deck right away. And this isn't necessarily how to get better, but it's a tip at how to understand the game so you don't get discouraged to quit the game. Is go play a deck a lot, like this goes on back with the deck testing. Go play a deck a lot online, or maybe even play a friend's deck if he has it, before you buy it. Because if you don't tech test it enough, you're going to go and spend a lot of money on a deck, and that's going to just be PO'd if it's not what you thought it was going to be. Even though I experientially think if no matter what deck you have, there should be a way to make it good, in some degree. I mean, sometimes you might have to dish out more money, but even any deck, I feel like there's a way to make it good. To a degree, it doesn't cover everything. But also think about to get better at Yu-Gi-Oh! Test tech cards. Everybody's got a personal preference on tech cards. Right now, my tech for all my decks is 1 Day of Peace, and I'm playing raccoons, and I didn't feel like spending the money on wind-up kittens, so I put in Hanes. It's not the same, but it's a tech card. Like, try different techs that other people don't play, that just like at one or something, and see how it moves for you, because it can make you better to figure out what cards are good and what scenarios they can be in. It makes you an overall better player. And the last one, this isn't even to promote myself. Watch YugiTubers. Why? Because they give out information and deck profiles constantly that lets you in the loop of a game, new strategies, stuff like that. I'm not even saying me, like, I'd say the top people to go watch, MCole40, Asian Eyes White Dragon. Yeah. Now, the Galactic God and other people do tips, but sometimes they do funny videos and stuff like that. Asian Eyes and MCole40 do a lot of tips and deck profiles and stuff like that. Asian Eyes has his funny videos, but and MCole40 has his openings and stuff like that. Everybody, YouTuber has that, but Asian Eyes and MCole40 post a lot of tips and stuff like that, along with other content on their channel. And then Cyber Knight's good because he usually, along with openings, because I like watching openings, same with Galactic God. I like all of them, but they also put news. Cyber Knight puts news, and then so does MCole40 and Asian Eyes White Dragon. So you can't really go wrong. But there's other YouTubers too that are great. It's just that I don't personally watch them, that many of them anyway. Sometimes I check them out if they have some other different content, but I don't really subscribe. But yeah, there's tons of YouTubers out there that just watch them and you'll get better at the game. That's what I did. I watched Asian Eyes for months and I got better, and then I expanded to other YouTubers and I got more news, and you just gather information and you moisten it up, and and when you're playing and building decks and all that, it absorbs into your head. So yeah, those are some tips that have worked for me, and I've gotten a lot better at the game, I feel. And yeah, guys, that's all I got, really. Just try doing some of those things. I feel like you could get better at Yu-Gi-Oh! In a few months of just playing casually and for fun, and you'll become a pretty good player after a while, after watching news and stuff like that, and how the game works and flows and deck testing and all that sort, watching people's eyes like you would in a poker game and seeing what they're doing and listening to what they say and all that jazz. So alright, thanks for watching, guys. If you think this video helped or whatever, or there's somebody new at Yu-Gi-Oh!, thumbs it up, share it to people, favorite it, all that stuff. Subscribe for more content up above in the button. And thank you for watching, guys. I will see you later.